Hello world, what's up? Back with another coding tutorial. Today's topic is data types. So let's get into it. I have this template project made up here already. You can see it says Hello World. Coincidence? Anyway. So, what to talk about for data types? Data types are, let's see, we have integers. Doubles. What else? Strings. And characters. Is there anything else I'm missing? Should I pull up Google? Fuck it. Let's do it. Oh. Data types. You would think I would know all these, but I don't. Okay, bool. Yeah. Oh, man. That's right. The stuff on this right side is maybe a little too advanced for this one. Maybe I'll stick to the basic ones, the primary ones. Let's see. I forgot. Bools. Okay. So, I'm kind of just winging this, so here we go. What do we got for integers? Integer data type is basically just a number. So if I type my syntax in here, int, this means we're going to use the integer data type. And you know, for a variable name, you could just say, oh, it doesn't matter, x. Now, I don't know, this is harder than I thought. I mean, yeah, basically it just stores a number. If I declare, you know, x equals to 1, and it stores a simple integer, a number. Oops. So if I display the output, I run my program here. Can you guys see that? It says 1, right? One thing I should mention is if you're using an integer, you can't display decimals. The computer hardware will round it to the nearest integer. So actually, I think it rounds it down. Is that right? Let me Google it. It rounds it down. So if you have like 1.7, it'll just round down to 1. So integers, rounding. Oops, I forgot. Ints round down or up. They all round down. Yep, 12.9 becomes 12. Yizzles. Anyways, we could just test it. Why did they do Google? So if I did 1.9, right? Realistically, we'd round up to 2, but yeah, see, we got a 1 right here. So, I mean, there are other functions that you could use to round these up and down, but if you wanted to use decimals, you would use the doubles data type. Another thing I should mention is I think the max value for an integer, it's capped around like maybe -2 million something and +2 million. Maybe it's billion. I don't know. You can Google it. But there are limits to these. One way to get around that though is you could use things like there are I think long, right? Long you can have more storage for bigger numbers, I'm pretty sure. That's just one thing to note. Next, we got doubles. So if I'm going to use a doubles data type, simply type in double. And like I said, the only I shouldn't say only. You would use this so you could display decimals, right? Beforehand, you saw that integers they can't store the decimal. It's always rounded down. So if I did double, like x equals 2.3, display this. Run the program. Aha, 2.3. I think I'm just blowing through these. I don't know if I'm explaining this right. Okay, strings. Strings. Oh, you know what? To use strings, you need to include string at the top of your program. So, same thing again here. If you want to use a string data type, type in string. And I can have a string, maybe call it sentence. And we can declare it with hello, all caps, hello world. Now there's pretty nifty things you can do with strings. There's a lot of string manipulations out there. String manipulation functions, you can look these up as well. Let's see, like, I guess for example, you can get the size of the string. So if I wonder if there's a library I have to include for this. I totally forgot. Let's see. It should be included in the string library. Let's try sentence. Dot. Is there size? Yes. And display this. I wonder how big is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That includes the space. Let's run it. Whoa. What happened? See out sentence.size. Why didn't it be displayed? Do I have to do this? Pretty sure it's still gonna fail, but you never know. Okay, that worked. I guess you have to store the return. I have no idea. Let's see. One thing I should note about strings is strings are basically an array. I won't go into arrays now, but it's an array of characters. So this means you can access each character of the string if you know it's a given index in the array. So I won't talk about this now, but if I did something like let's see, the variable of the string is sentence, right? Sentence. These two brackets here, you use that it's like an array notation, I guess. If I type in a number for the specified index, like I know h is at the first index, which means, and I want to display h, right, from the first index of the string, you can type in 0. Arrays in programming languages usually start at 0, not 1. So it's something to wrap your head around. And if I just run this, there you go. So you get h. And you can even try it with other indexes like 1. That should give us e. Thing right here, E, so that's good. What else? I guess we can make our way into characters. Now for characters, I want to use the type char, char, however you want to say it. We can name it letter equals. Make sure when you're using the character data type that you don't use double quotes. That's bad. We want to use single quotes. I guess our letter we could just use a capital A and then end it. And if I display the letter, oh, I forgot. Crash coder, sorry guys. See out letter. Run it. We should see the letter A. That's right. One thing I should also mention about characters and strings too. Every character or symbol, I guess, in programming, at least for C++, has an ASCII value associated with it. So I think A, this big letter A, actually its ASCII value is, I think, 65. So if its integer value is 65, or its digit value. So if I excuse me, if I set an integer type, call it x, equal to letter, remember that letter equal to the big letter A. Now we're setting the big letter A to the integer x. So if I display this, okay, so we're displaying the letter A, but remember that we're actually storing it into an integer type. So this should convert it to its digit value from its ASCII table. So if I run it, it should be 65. Yep, bingo, 65. And I think actually if can I do this? Oh, I don't know, I'm just playing around now. If I did something like this, I know that the integer value for the big letter A is 65, right? So if I set the character letter to the value 65, if I run it, would that give me A? Oh wait, 65. But I'm only displaying the integer, so I actually need to display the character variable, which is a letter. So let's try it now. Does it give me A? Aha! See? Pretty cool. Okay. Let's see, what's next? I guess one thing I could also mention is that since strings are arrays of characters, that means you can also set individual characters from those strings to a character value. Makes sense, right? Let's see, next. Got the bools. Trying to be cool, but you can't be a bool. Bad joke. Anyway. Let's see, a bool value is true or false. 0 or 1. So if I just explain this real quick, you can use data type bool. And we can say, is it true? Does anyone know K-pop here? Is it true? Yes. Okie dokie, yo. Okay, anyway. I'm getting off topic. Is it true? Basically, a bool variable will, you can use it to store, if you want to check if something is true or false, or set something true or false, you can set this to just false. Usually, bool variables are set to false. Well, I guess I could just display it first. Maybe that might work. If I display is it true, you'll see that it'll say false. That's what I set it to. Oh wait, sorry, that's not a sentence. It's not gonna say false. This brings me to a good point. It says 0. That's because in computers, I guess I can just type a comment here for it, so it's easier to see. False is denoted by a 0. Oops. And true is denoted by 1. So false is 0, true is 1. It's like 0 is on, 1, oh sorry, no, 0 is off, 1 is on, okay? On, off. So when I run this, remember it's false, I get a 0. Now if I set it to true, I should have 1. Oops, start. Right? So that's good. Another thing you could do, remember how I said a bool variable is either 0 or 1, true or false, right? You can also set the bool variable to 0 or 1. And so this means the bool variable is it true is now false, right? It's 0. So if I run it, you should see a 0 pop up. 0, it's false. And vice versa, if I did 1 on or run it, I also get a 1. So those are bool variables. You can use these in like things like if statements to decide what your program does. You'll see things later on like while loops, a lot of conditional checking, conditional statements, things to go through your program and decide which pathways to take. It's pretty nifty to use bool variables, things like setting flags and keeping track of things. I'm sure you'll use them later on in more advanced programs, but I think that's all for now. I kind of just winged this video, to be honest, but yeah, I guess that's it. Can I end it with this? Can I end it with a string data type? String equals. By the way, for strings, use double quotes, guys. String equals goodbye world. Oh shit. World. Rock and roll, baby. Let's see. Oh, I wonder if this will. Nah, it should be good. Oh, see this little error here? Didn't make my variable name string goodbye. And I'll display it. Goodbye. Debug. Oops. Goodbye world. There it is. Oh. Didn't display that. You'll have to look into that. Well, I guess that's it for today. Later, guys. Stay tuned for more. Peace.